Are you hiring? Ever wonder what the A player employees want? Welcome to the Culture Course Show, where we help you attract top talent and build a thriving company culture. My name is Grant Botma, and I'm an owner of an Inc. 5000 fastest growing company in America. All right, so there was a study done, an independent study done by Chick-Fil-A, and the owner of Chick-Fil-A, he actually was trying to get some of this research from other entities, other typical companies that do this type of employment research. He's talking about Deloitte, Bain & Company, all these large national, multinational companies that do a lot of this research. And what he found is the information I'm looking for isn't out there. So he's frustrated and he put together a study of his own. And he did this using a third party, in conjunction with a third party global HR company. And basically what they did is they did research on all of their employees, and then they segregated and segmented who he would say are the A-player employees. And how he defined those A-player employees was saying they consistently ranked in the top performance, so their performance metrics of those particular employees, they were consistently towards the top for a minimum of 3 years in a row. Pretty good metric, right? I mean, if you're trying to figure out who are the best people on your team, who are A-player employees, what are things that they're going to do well? Well, they're going to perform well, and they're going to do it consistently. And he said a 3-year period. So when he looked at those people who he called his A-player employees, there was one thing that they had in common. One thing that was asked often and responded to in the same way in this study, and it was this. These A-player employees, they wanted this one thing. They wanted a boss that demonstrated care. This episode is brought to you by my new book, The Problem Isn't Their Paycheck: How to Attract Top Talent and Build a Thriving Company Culture. This is available on Amazon or everywhere you buy books. There is a soft cover, hardcover, ebook, and Audible. You can go to culturecourse.com/book to learn more information or check it out on Amazon. So again, this Chick-fil-A study, very exhaustive. I love the way that they looked at and defined A-player employees. And it's interesting to me that they simply wanted a boss that cared. They wanted somebody that genuinely cared for them. All of these A-player employees said that they wanted that. So if you're hiring and you want an A-player employee, that means you need to be, one, a boss that cares, but two, you need to prove to them that you do care. That's a great way to attract and hire awesome people. I was speaking at a college several weeks ago, and part of the college, there was several entrepreneurship students. And many of these students, as part of the entrepreneurship class, we're talking about different businesses that they want to start. And some of them had some really great ideas. It was really cool just engaging with them from stage and talking to them about it. Even hearing some of their ideas, some were really unique and really great. But as part of that, I'm trying to help them understand the basics of business. Some of that is just finding needs and filling them. How do you fill those needs? You genuinely serve other people. You put other people's needs ahead of your own. You can't be a selfish-minded business. Those things don't work. So I'm engaging with them and I talk to them, hey, look, if you're a boss and you're a leader, what are some things that you need to do? And I was trying to get them to say, if I'm going to have a mission of a company, I need to exhibit that mission myself personally as a leader. And I'm trying to get them to talk about that. And I was trying to lead them down that path. But where all of them kept going is their own personal experiences. Their own personal experiences in working for somebody else. And it seemed like almost everybody in the crowd had a common theme. And I don't know if it just kind of was like a buzz and it happened within the room, but it happened. And that common theme was they didn't think it was right for bosses to treat them like dirt. They didn't like how most of the engagements they had received from their employers in the past had been. They might have liked the company they worked for, but the boss or the manager that they had, they just didn't appreciate. And so many of them had these stories about how a boss or a manager treated someone that they knew or treated them themselves in a way that just wasn't working. And it's fascinating, especially as you consider this study that Chick-fil-A did. Guys, if you want to attract awesome people, if you want to attract top talent, if you want to have A players, you've got to be someone who's not a jerk. You've got to be someone who genuinely cares about your team. And here's the thing. I know that there are countless people that are in my community that want to come work for stewardship, that want to come work for me, because I do anything and everything I can to not only serve my team, but my team tells others about that. My team has pride about where they're working. And when they show up to a kid's birthday party or some other community event, or they're in a small group at church or something like that, and somebody asks, hey, where do you work? Oh, they kind of puff up and have something, a pride that says, I work at stewardship, right? And now there is almost this thing in our community where it's known that stewardship is a great place to work because the people there care about each other. My employees care about each other. And it starts because leadership, the leadership team, me and some of the other founders, we genuinely care about them. So what is your call to action this week? Somehow, some way this week, demonstrate that you care. And look, if you don't care, if you really do look at your employees as just like a commodity or something to be used, and you're just trying to squeeze as much of them as you can without really serving them or caring for them, check yourself. Genuinely check yourself. Because that's not sustainable. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for them. And as we know from this study, it's not going to bring in awesome employees. Every week, every day, you should be doing something as a manager, as a leader, to let your team know that you genuinely care about them. Who's somebody on your team this week that needs to know you care about them? Maybe it's somebody that's not performing well. Maybe it's somebody that you're noticing have a little bit of an attitude, or they're walking into the office with their head down, or maybe their recent performance hasn't gone as well, or maybe they're going through something tough at home. You might not know the specifics, but you know they're going through something. Exhibit care. That care looks like all kinds of different things. It can be just a simple look in the eye to genuinely say, I care about you. Or it can be, hey, let me buy you lunch today. Or it could be, hey, guys, I'm going to buy everybody ice cream this week. Why am I doing this? No reason. I just care about you guys. I appreciate you. Or maybe it's you find out that one of your employees' kids has a soccer game on Saturday and you show up. Whoa, what are you doing here? I care about you. I care about your family. There's so many different ways that you can exhibit care for your team. Do that this week and start a buzz in your community that your place of employment, that your leadership is a place where people genuinely care. That's how you're going to get A players. Have a great week.